Welcome everyone to this collective live stream. This beautiful day, Sunday in late March of 2021. It's an honor to be here, and it's an honor to have you here on my channel. If you're new, if you're returning, wherever you are, however you are, in whatever state you are, physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically, trust me, I know it's been a wild ride this last week. Welcome to my channel. My channel is called Signs of the Soul and Stars. My name is Brandon Tobias. Again, it's an honor to have you here. And the reason why we're here today, and in general, and the reason why I created this channel is because we believe true love is the greatest catalyst to helping you grow, to helping you heal, transform, and step into your greatest soul purpose. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Of course, if you are new and you want to be part of the Soul Tribe and get all of the updates and continue to join us week by week as this collective journey unfolds on our journey to union, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And do me a favor as well, if you are enjoying this content even right now, or you do figure that you enjoy it sometime down the line as you're watching this video, be sure to hit that like button as well as that little bell button so you never miss another notification from this channel ever again. So welcome, guys. This live stream, okay, as you guys may know if you've seen this for a long time, or maybe you haven't, is completely off the top. There is no planning, there is no script, and there's not a lot of human Brandon. I would say there's some human Brandon, but it's mostly channeled guidance. And what I mean by that, not to be too woo-woo, is basically I open up the ceremony and I call in our guides. I call in my guides, the angels, the archangels. Archangel Michael specifically is here to guide this collective towards love, and is bringing the two counterparts, the divine feminine and the divine masculine, together at this time. And I'm here to help just translate those energetic frequencies as they come to me, and to give them all to you who are listening, so we can all have clarity and inspiration and the next steps in our love story. Okay, so that's all this is. And sometimes, well, actually pretty much every time, it ends up being an amazing journey that I am just as surprised as you guys to be a part of and to witness. So thank you guys so much, first and foremost, for being here. I really appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. And without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. I'm going to check out the comments and make sure you guys can hear me and see me okay, as I always do before I get into the messages, so there's no missed translations. What do we got? Who's on here on live? Welcome, TikTok. I see you guys joining in. Hello, hello, hello. YouTube, we have Rachel. Rachel, I'm sorry to see that it's hurting so much. It is definitely hurting so much, a lot. It is hurting a lot, trust me, at this time. Jacqueline, I'm sorry, I feel very hopeless as well. Hearts entwined, love your content, Brandon, resonates so much. Rachel, feel like I'm here because I'm hopeless about my separation. Jacqueline is complimenting me, calling me handsome. Thank you so much. Christina is fired up about the Soul Tribe. Welcome, Soul Tribe. And Maria and Jacqueline and everyone here are excited. So just let me know and confirm, guys. I know TikTok, you guys can probably hear me, but YouTube, if you guys can hear me, mic check, and visual audio check. Just let me know if you can hear me okay, and then we'll get started into this week's Collective Live. Okay. I do want to share, though, for those of you guys who are experiencing heartbreak and pain and the pain of separation, it is getting more and more intense, and the waves of these feelings just keep coming, and they seem to be intensifying at times. And it's almost like the question keeps coming up, well, where is that end point? Where is that culmination? Where are we going to have to get in order to relieve ourselves of this pain, these feelings of hopelessness and separation, and all of these things that are coming up? And the truth is, I have no absolute idea. I have no absolute idea. And the feelings, the waves of emotion that you guys are all experiencing, I am also experiencing. And the one thing I have to share with you guys is emotion is the gateway to wisdom. The experience fully of all of your emotions inside of your heart at every single moment, the highs, the highest of the highs, excuse me, and the lowest of the lows, is the gateway to knowing yourself, knowing the world, and knowing more about what's going on collectively. So think of it like that as this time goes on, that the more you experience the fullness and the richness of all of your emotions in regards to this situation, right? the more wise you are becoming through the confusion of it all, if that makes sense. If you were feeling confused, if you were feeling lost, if you were feeling hopeless, all of these feelings, and you were trying to question them, and you were trying to figure them out, and you were trying to wonder, why am I going through this? Why am I feeling so challenged? Why is it such a mystery at this time? Why can't I figure this out like I could figure out every single thing else in my life, but not this situation? It's because this situation was not meant to be figured out. This situation in love, in true love that you were experiencing. And I had a feeling I needed to go into this as we spoke. But the feeling here that I'm talking about, all right, the feeling that we are channeling for and because of, is the feeling of true love. And I want to just share for a second, because a lot of you guys have asked me, how do I know if I am a counterpart with someone? How do I know if I'm a twin flame or a twin soul or a soulmate, deep soul tie connection, whatever you want to say? How do I know if that person is that person for me? Or how do I know if I'm in that situation? And I'll put it like this. Even if and when and because you guys are in separation, even with the fact and because and when you two are in separation, the feelings of deep love, compassion, and care, and just straight up missing them does not go away, does not weaken, and in fact strengthens as you two separate. That is the way to know if you are in a true love situation with someone who is very special with and to and for you. Because a lot of you guys I know will probably be curious as to, how do I know? How do I know? How do I know? And you will know when you find this person, because no matter what happens, no matter how much they trigger you, no matter how much they bring up in you, no matter how much sometimes you dislike them, the further apart you get, the more you realize how much you love them, and how much you love them unconditionally, and how much you would want to be back by their side. So that is the essence of true love. And that is the exact journey to union that we are channeling for. If you find yourself in one of these situations and you are confused as all hell, welcome to the club. And that's why I'm here to help guide. Okay? So let's get into it. And we have a birthday as well. Luciel on YouTube, happy birthday. Sincerely, I hope you are doing amazing. Thank you for joining us on this live stream. And I will, I guess I'm going to make this a little thing, but I will be doing a little 5-card spread for you if you want it. Let me know if you want in the comments for your birthday, just for you. Okay? Happy birthday, Luciel. Okay. All right, good. So everyone can hear me. Everything's good. Let's go ahead and get into the channeled messages. Thank you, guys. So here's how we're going to start. We're going to open the ceremony, of course. We're going to get into the channeled messages. And we're going to start with some oracle cards, some mystical oracle shaman cards. Okay? And I have no idea what is going to want to come through. But the feeling that I have as to what I'd like to share, or what needs to come through, is just what do we need to know? What are the messages we need to know collectively right now at this critical junction of love and life, where we truly do not know how much longer this is going to go on, what is happening, why it's happening, and why it's so darn intense. Yeah? So let's go ahead and get into it. So officially opening the ceremony now between myself and the collective here live on TikTok and YouTube, watching now and in the future. Opening the ceremony officially, calling in my spirit guides, loved ones, masters, wise ones, the ascended masters, angels and archangels, Archangel Michael, Jesus Christ, and Mary Magdalene. Please join us for this ceremony, asking for your guidance and wisdom and your channeled truth to help guide this collective towards their highest good and highest healing now and in the future. Also calling in the guides and angels responsible for this collective of twin souls, twin flames, soulmates that I'm channeling for here now and today, asking Spirit for the highest good, highest clarity, and the messages we need to know for our highest good and clarity now and in the future. Thank you so much. The ceremony is now officially open. All right, let's get into it, guys. 2 minute and 12 average watch time with 333 playbacks. The Ascended Masters are here with us today. And I do feel it's very important for their messages to come through today. So 212 as well is that we are in the midst of the essential work that we need to do within and throughout our separation that is essential for the world. That is the truth of it. The 212 that we keep seeing, if you keep seeing that, is a marker that no matter how deeply you feel about this love situation, it is essential at this very time to engage fully with the deepest marks of your soul purpose. The crow, the staff, the smoky mirror, lightning, and the giveaway. With the tree of life. Oh, goodness. This crow here on the crown of the cards here represents the darkness that we are all feeling in our heart at this very moment. It represents the drama, the mystery, the darkness, the frustration, the feelings of imminent death, the feelings of imminent need for transformation, and the feelings that something here has run its course. Some major cycle, some major way of being, some major chapter when it comes to our experience of this love situation in our own lives and who we are and who we're becoming as a soul has come to just about the very end of that chapter. And I have a very strong feeling it will be happening in the next day or two, this week. As someone mentioned in the comments, very significant week astrologically. There are a lot of culminations coming into play when it comes to the karmic chapter of love and trusting in the unknown. And this crow right here represents that ending coming into play. And the news that is imminent that will signify the ending of a dark chapter. This crow, although we may not like this crow, although we may not be a big fan of this crow, has taught us to embody and to embrace the wisdom of the darkness. The wisdom of creating our own light and our own path through the darkness. Creating our own life and light through only the dim light of the moon, which is simply a reflection of the sun. And so the symbology of the moon is the only way forward. The only way that we knew or know now how to move forward, that we've learned, is by becoming the sun, which then can reflect off of the moon and light the path forward. Thus becoming our own source of inspiration, thus becoming our own source of light, thus becoming our own source of ingenuity in our own lives. So this has been the critical lesson that we've had to bear witness to and to be a part of the experience within. The tree of life on the bottom of the deck signifies two souls intertwined going through this journey at the exact same time. And as they go through this journey, both of them twirling around each other, rising up into something that can bloom into everlasting abundance and prosperity and the everlasting beauty of life. Sometimes the darkest times have to come, have to be experienced, and have to be gone through in order to get to the brightest potential, most amazing and most abundant creationary times of life. And that is what this tree of life underneath the deck is letting us all know, is that underneath it all, what we couldn't see the entire time, what we were working towards, what we were growing towards, was towards this everlasting life and abundance. This tree, these two souls, as they are intertwined here, have no idea. Have no idea what they're growing into, have no idea where they're going, and have no idea that they're doing it alongside of a destined counterpart. No tangible idea, no physical proof that that is happening, but that is what is happening. And as each grows in one direction, the other is pulled upward by the other side, unbeknownst to each of them. We talked about the giveaway a couple weeks back, I believe, right in the middle of the spread here for TikTok. The smoky mirror, the giveaway, the staff, and lightning. We talked about the gift that would be coming to us, the thing that would be arriving at our doorstep, the person potentially that would be showing up in a way that would make us happy or would make us be satisfied with what we have been going through. And the truth of the matter, that what we've realized through this entire journey, what Spirit wants us to realize, is that it was never about someone else showing up at our doorstep, becoming and being the things perfectly that would make us happy or make us feel complete or make us feel everything that we are. The very thing that we've been gifted through the gift of the giveaway and everything that we've been going through is the gift of having that within ourselves. It's the gift that if we look back, if we look as to why we are going through this suffering, if we look as to what has happened throughout our chapter and time of being in the darkness, of being in separation, and being in the place of not knowing what the hell is going on, if you look at the gifts that you've been given tangibly in your life right now, the person you've become, and what your soul has stepped into, you will realize you've been given the most powerful gift you could have ever even imagined. From this person, from the universe, from your own soul, from your own strength, and from your own persistence. This, now coming full circle, is the essence of what Spirit has been trying to tell us and to show us, and what we've been realizing now that we've been given as a gift through this experience. And so with this comes the inner confidence and the inner knowing that whether or not we come into union with another person, whether or not we come into union with some other half of our soul or our personality or our beingness, whether or not that happens, although, of course, obviously, everyone would like to complete that. Everyone would like to have that and to experience that. But whether or not your life here, because you have found the essence of completeness within yourself, and because you have unlocked and broken into and opened up the greatest gifts that your soul has to offer for the world now and in the future, quite frankly, you can live and you can be in your greatest purpose with or without this person. And that is the essence of what Spirit wants us to get to. It is the knowingness that me, you, every one of all of us, the collective that we are channeling for, the reason we've been going through this is to realize that there is no need to be with another person. There is no necessity. There is no requirement. There is no loss. There's only the realization that we have everything we could have ever needed in our own soul, in our own light, to complete this journey to the greatest possible fulfilled destiny of our dreams. So the illusion here with the smoky mirror and the staff, the illusion here has been trying to create magic, trying to create magic and to see through the illusion and to see through the bigger picture, to see through the story and to wonder and wonder and wonder and wonder and think, why? And why can't I have it this way? Why can't I control this outcome and bring us all together right at this moment? And the illusion is of control. The illusion is that we've had any control of any of this from the entire beginning or start of this whole situation. Because what Spirit is saying here, as you probably found out through this journey, is that that is the last thing that we have over our fate, over another person, over how it works out, over when it works out. The last thing that we have is control. And it's the moment that we allow ourselves to fully and completely let go of any and all control that everything changes. Because lightning here is at the bottom of the spread. And so what Spirit wants us to know, ironically, is that in order to allow for the things to spontaneously occur in your life that you've always dreamed of, that you've always wanted, and that you are striving for, to create. One, those are the things very much so that you have almost no control over. And two, it's the second that you relinquish the feelings of having control or wanting to have control over these things that they appear spontaneously, abruptly in your life when you least expect it. So the call to action this week, before we get into the collective love tarot part of the journey, is simply to, at every moment, this week especially I'm feeling, for the end of March here, as this whole love journey, we have all the 222s coming up, we have the culmination of this journey, we have everything happening. In every single moment, as much as you can, as best as you can, relax and let go. And allow what is to come, what is to be understood, and what is to unravel to be completely out of your control. And spontaneously through that release of potential or potentiality, whatever is most needed in your life right now, that is the very most destined thing that will happen, that will spur you forward into the place where you're supposed to be. But you have to be willing to relinquish that control. You have to. Spirit wants to give you. It wants to give you everything you could have ever asked for. And you've learned now to trust. You've learned now through this whole period how to walk forward step by step through each chapter and trust unconditionally. That's been the lesson we've learned. And now Spirit is asking for one last big push, one last big relinquishing of the essence of control over what happens, how it happens, when it happens, in what way, for things to complete. Okay? And whatever happens this week, Destiny Week, whatever happens spontaneously, suddenly, like a strike of lightning, abruptly, without you ever expecting it, whatever happens in that way and wherever that leads you, that is absolutely 100%, especially once you've let go of the control of where that goes and what that is, where you're supposed to be. And on the pathway towards bringing in all of your greatest life potential. And so trust it. Okay. Let's get into the collective love tarot. I hope that was a good message for you guys. Goodness, I did not know where that was going. Very much a trust-oriented stream today. Jelaine, the cacao hitting hard already. Today I don't have any cacao. I ran out of cacao. So I'm in a little bit of a different headspace today, but that's okay. I had a fruit smoothie. Spirit, what is the tarot deck, correct tarot deck for us to use today for the messages? Universal worth. And should we do a collective love reading? Okay. So what I'm feeling right now, what I'm getting word of, I'm just going to go with it and trust, is to do the astrology first, then come back and do a collective love tarot, and then if we have time to do a week ahead for love specifically. Although I think Spirit wants to tell us that the astrology is going to explain a lot of this coming up. So that's what I'm going to do. So we'll do astrology first, and then we'll get into a channeled tarot collective general reading, and then we'll look at the week ahead in love and in life. But that's the order I'm going to go in. Cool. Don't know why, but Spirit is switching things up. And it's 2:22 Pacific. Look at the clock. Look at the clock on the astrology. It's 2:22 Pacific time. That's a little crazy. Yeah, Spirit's definitely asking to check into the astrology right now. I'm going to turn off my essential oils because it's way too strong. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay. Goodness gracious. I put some lemongrass in there, and it was like, it was so strong, so potent, it was like distracting. All right. Well, let's go ahead and look at the astrology. So as some of you guys have known here, right, epic week astrologically coming up. And we're just going to look at the next few days, actually. We're going to hone in right on the next few days to allow whatever comes through to come through. TikTok, if you guys are watching live, I will be channeling the astrology, but if you want to watch the charts live, they are on YouTube. So you can check out my channel, Science of the Soul and Stars. Let's go ahead and see what's going on, though. Okay, so Mars in Gemini with the North Node conjunct. All right, with the Moon in Cancer, having just passed Gemini here. And these two planets, powerful, powerful combination here, making a sextile over to Chiron, Ceres, and, wow, Mars and North Node trining Saturn here in Aquarius. Yeah. So again, it's that last little energy of the push, okay? The last little energy of having to summon and have the courage, the fearlessness, and the strength to make one last final push and the few last final steps into and because of the unknown happening here, and trusting fully. Now, what I'm feeling here intuitively is that as we finish out the culmination of this chapter of the unknown, something destined comes in for each of us that carries us through our individual soul purpose. And this thing right here, interestingly, is strong enough and destined enough to bring us to a place where we are not able to or really even focused on love in a weird way, right? It's like something that comes in that's like, boom, it takes us so fast, so far, and so quickly that it's like we're almost compelled to do it because of the necessity of the universe calling us into it. That's the energy I'm getting here, interestingly enough. Mars conjunct North Node, making a sextile to Chiron, Ceres, and Saturn here. It's a karmic, destined, necessary action or thing or opportunity that's going to come in, I feel, at the same time that this love chapter finishes out. So it's almost like the love here, the love we've been feeling with our counterpart energy in true love, twin flame, soulmate, journey to union, has been catalyzing the growth for us to receive this particular thing that's coming this week, that is destined, that the world needs, and that is highly impactful for yourself and for everyone else. That's the most important thing. The most important thing I want everyone to focus on as they're listening right here, right? Because of, obviously, the trials everyone is going through. Everyone probably wants to know, well, what's going to happen in love? But the thing is, Spirit really wants me to hone in on this. Spirit wants me to hone in on the fact that look at what this has been preparing you guys for. Look at how and who you've become through this journey, so every single moment could prepare you for what you're about to step into this particular week. Okay? Now, I'm not saying that love is over and not going to matter anymore and never going to happen. Absolutely not. But I am saying you're going to realize fully through this culmination this week why you had to go through what you've gone through in the past year or so, or 6 months, or however long it's been that you've been in separation from your counterpart. The reason, the purpose as to why that's happening will be clear this week. Will be very clear. And it will happen spontaneously. So I want everyone to release that feeling of, having to know what's going to happen, or having to have it a certain way, or having it play out in a certain way, because that energy is not going to serve us this week. Because what wants to come in is actually much greater than that. All right? So that's the first thing that comes through. Now the sextile here between Mars and the North Node and Chiron and Ceres here is about learning to feel worthy in receiving back what we are here to give authentically to the world. So again, if you're listening to this, it all matches up perfectly, because part of the journey we've been on as the divine feminine energy in relationship and union has been learning to know what we are worthy of. Has been learning to know what we are worthy of receiving through union and through love and through actual tangible partnership. And it's by learning to know and understand what we're worthy of, we've had to really dive into the depths of what we are. To know what you are worthy of receiving, you have to know what you are and what you are naturally giving to the world. And so this has been part of that discovery of who you are on a soul level and what you're here to give authentically. And chances are, if you've been struggling in this area, or struggling generally, you've had to struggle figuring that out. You've had to struggle figuring out why you are here and what you're here to do. And that's where this energy has been pushing you towards. And so this week is the opportunity to receive something tangibly for that. For everything that you are, everything that you've gone through, and everything that you want to have in your life, the giveaway is here for your own soul to receive everything in that way, in the most unexpected and spontaneous ways. Most likely and probably outside of love, but potentially within love as well. So that's awesome. Of course, we've got Venus conjunct the Sun in Aries here, as I've been mentioning and calling out all month here. And it happens officially on the 22nd, as I've been mentioning here with the 222s. I'm going to bring this up just really briefly, because I think we've already gone over this. But here we go. Sun and Venus conjunct at 2 degrees each on March 22nd, with Juno at 22 degrees. And the other planet that I saw just the other day was the Earth, is also, I believe, at 22 degrees here. Let me just make sure. It's at 2 degrees. So the Earth itself just moved into Libra and is just traversing into Libra, and it's at 2 degrees here. And we've also got the Sun and Earth opposing, 2 degrees each, Venus at 2 degrees and Juno at 22 degrees on March 22nd. So I would suspect that the end of the cycle of trusting and being in the unknown, the culmination of that dark period, that dark night of the soul that we've all been going through collectively, that clarity and that light is going to somehow shine through or open up on or near this day because of this energy here. Okay, so be open, release control, surrender to the energies on and around this day, and let everything else go. Something rather exciting, right? Mars conjunct North Node in Gemini. Okay, this energy of boom, oh my gosh, everything happening all at once, exploding into everything else, and allowing us to know clearly our way as it all comes into the clear picture. Beautiful stuff. So that's the first thing to be aware of here. Let's go on in just a couple more days, because what I want to do here, guys, I think I'm going to go the next 3 days with the astrology. Just give us the next few steps. So if you're watching this, here's the next few steps. I will likely post another video mid next week, right, and then another one late next week. So I'll probably have like this 2 to 3 video schedule a week. And those will be giving a lot of the love updates, but this is kind of just what do we need to know now that's most urgent from Spirit and Source. So March 23rd, right, Sun and Venus still conjunct at 3 degrees now, conjunct Chiron and Ceres here at 8 and 12. Yeah. And the moon here in Leo. South Node of Juno. And what's interesting is the Sun and Venus. That's okay. Got it. That makes sense. All right. So Spirit was like, do the next 3 days. You'll see why in a second. Like, okay, March 25th, which is the day before my birthday. It's the day before my birthday. We have Venus and the Sun conjunct at 5 degrees, and it's the last day that they stay conjunct. Okay. I believe. Oh, they. No. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the last day they're conjunct. Indefinitely until next time. But on and around this day, that's when Mars is coming to that conjunction with the North Node, your destiny point. We have Uranus here in Taurus. Mercury conjunct Neptune. Moon in Virgo. Interesting. And Saturn trine North Node and Mars. Beautiful. Juno here, I'll take a quick look, in square with Neptune. Yep. And also in sextile with Jupiter at 22 degrees. Okay. Yeah, so the biggest thing I can share, guys, that I'm picking up from these alignments, because nothing much is going to change from, I mean, there's a few things here, but the alignments, the energy is going to generally stay pretty similar from the from today on until the 25th. It's that Sun conjunction with Venus, Mars coming into that conjunction with North Node. I just realized the Earth is always opposing the Sun, so that's nothing special. But everything at 2222. Juno here impacting Jupiter. And then Moon over here in Leo and Cancer. Yeah. Beautiful. And then Virgo on the 25th. So it is this energy, really, of being the witness here of all of these major energies to come in and to formulate themselves in tangible ways within your life. What I'm really feeling with this is it's going to be an opportunity to finally witness what you've been going through, tangibly piece itself together to give you the spark, the inspiration, and the clarity in your own life to make a drastic jump and move forward into your point of destiny. It's the reward. Here's the specific gift, is the specific reward that you are able to attain or to receive from the universe as a gift, as a giveaway, from the trials that you've gone through, the discovery of your own soul that you've been doing, and the healing of the deepest parts of your souls that you've been doing as well. Okay? The gift that will be given will be the next big jump forward for whatever is here for you in love and in life for the rest of your life. Okay? So trust one last time. That's what we're all asking. We're saying trust one last time. These next few days, I promise you, these will be the ones that will be the change makers. Let go of how it goes down, what happens, who it goes down with, and anything else that you feel yourself trying to grab onto or understand or to try to get into a certain way of being, let all of that shit go. All of it. And I can feel that energy of wanting to still find out how, why, when, and what. And this is it. This is the last final test or culmination of those energies specifically. Okay, the era of the moon, the era of the darkness, the era of having to navigate our own way. Finally, there will be light coming from the opposing source. Okay. So that's the astrology. And of course, now we're going to get into the collective love reading. So for whatever reason, Spirit really wanted to get that one done first. I don't know why. But they seemed pretty adamant about it. So we'll see. I'm going to be using the Universal Worth. I haven't used this deck in a while, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. This is the original. This is my original first deck. And boy, was this deck my greatest trigger. As I asked myself questions, navigating my situations, and it gave me the true answers that I didn't want to hear, this was the deck. I love this deck. But it's been my greatest enemy at times too. Maybe there's a lesson there. All right, spirit guides, loved ones, masters, wise ones, please, angels and archangels. Guidance here on what the collective needs to know in love and in life. What are the messages of the utmost importance at this time for the week ahead that we need to know for our greatest and highest good? What is the message specifically for this audience that is watching here now live with me, TikTok, on YouTube, now and in the future? What is the messages we specifically need to know for our greatest and highest good at this time for the next week ahead? Here we go. Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups. It's the first crowning card, Three of Swords on the bottom of the deck. The energy we're experiencing at the utmost peak that we likely will be continuing to experience at this time, moving forward in the next few days, is the deep, deep sadness and the pain and the heartbreak that we have from having to be separate or having to walk away from our divine counterpart. And the reason here is very clear. Coming out is the Two of Wands, the Four of Wands, the Knight of Wands, Seven of Pentacles, and the King of Cups. The real reason, the real, actual, legitimate, tangible reason here that we've had to engage with so much pain, so much hurt, so much heartbreak is because truly a person in our lives was not able to, not in a place or not ready to fully settle into and fully embrace and fully be involved in and with the love that we had to share. And this caused trouble. This caused a lot of issues and problems. And the other truth that I'm getting deep down inside is even if we didn't want to admit it at the time or throughout this process, is that we weren't ready either. If you really, actually take a look at how you felt throughout parts of this union and the experience of it, and if you really, truly, deeply ask yourself if you were ready to be in union, that answer would be no. More than likely. And so all of this energy that we've had of putting it on the other person or saying that the divine masculine, right, the Knight of Wands energy here, that they weren't ready, they weren't willing to commit, they were wanting to explore all the possibilities of love and life. Well, perhaps they were just a reflection, a tangible, outward, painful reflection of the truth that lied deep within our own soul that we did not want to acknowledge. That energy of not being ready for all of this, everything that was to come, all of the deep, solid, tangible commitment energy that it would take to be in true union And that is the true reason, at that time, and even now, why the Divine Feminine needed to walk away. It may have taken some time, but now she's come to this place where she's realized that she needed the separation. She needed to walk away just as much as her counterpart maybe said that he did. And the hard reason why, Seven of Pentacles and the King of Cups. In some ways, it was taking for granted. Taking for granted the person, the personality, the characteristics, the embodiment, and the everything that we were being reflected to and engaging with. It was taking for granted and not realizing the depth of what we had and the truth of what we had. Not realizing that within that night, there was a king. And yeah, definitely, maybe that night needed some time to run around and get his energy out and explore the possibilities and see what was, if it was greener on the other side. But at the end of the day, that night was destined to become a king. And you as the Divine Feminine listening, well, you were meant to grow stronger in your love capacity as well. So there was a need, really is what I'm getting here. There was a need for both parties equally, to really see, to really explore, and to really discover if this was true. How deep this really went. Is this really something that is worthwhile pursuing and being on my soul's journey, on a tangible, real relationship? This was something that you as the watcher needed to discover in order to clarify in your own heart if that was the real, true possibility that you wanted to go with for your life. And so realizing now that the very same energy that you walked away from because of the representation of it in your counterpart was this very same energy that maybe you had hidden away inside of your own soul that you were also trying to avoid and walk away from the entire time. So when I say this Knight of Wands energy has been meddlesome and troublesome, I do mean that's the case. But I can also see as well the reflection that that's given to all of us watching, and the realizations and the clarity as well to face those scariest, deepest truths within ourselves that we didn't know about until this person. Eight of Wands, Seven of Cups, Four of Cups, Three of Cups, and the Six of Pentacles. The energy here of needing to sit in pure stillness. The energy here of needing to realize, that someone here was not fully prepared to come into any sort of reconciliation and actually needed to experience the joy of what life was all about. It's this bringing in of joy and potential reconciliation and the ability to be in a way that is fun and enjoyable and entertaining, the lightness of life, that has allowed you to realize this whole other side of what is and what exists for you to participate in. And this has been the biggest way forward for the Divine Feminine at this time, is realizing the other side of life that exists, that she can, at will, participate within, which is sitting in the stillness, but also taking the time to enjoy the essence of what life is really all about, and what she wants to participate in, and how she wants to participate within it. And Seven of Cups here, figuring out with clarity who the person she will choose to be the person that lives in a relationship with her, in a home, in love, and creating something really real and tangible. And what this is telling us is that the sooner that we have decided, the sooner that we have made the choice, through the exploration, through seeing and viewing and experiencing all of the different possibilities that exist, the moment that we make that choice through the Seven of Cups energy, and then are willing to both experience what life has to offer outside of love, and to sit in the stillness and the acceptance of time necessary, that is when and how things come together. To walk in true love, true strength, and equal reciprocity. Let's get this final context row here. Temperance, the Sun card, the Devil, the Emperor, Ten of Wands, and the Empress. So the essence here, Ten of Wands, having the weight, having the pressure, having the burden, having everything that you are carrying here, and all of the different choices. The main ones being, do I want to continue to carry on this weight, this journey, this pressure, these realizations, this growth, or would I like to engage in something else? Likely you have chosen here, if you were listening, if you were watching, you have chosen here to continue to hold on to the weight. And the Emperor here, the Empress, the lessons of giving and receiving through the death. So really all, in essence, it's the expectations here with the Devil card underneath the Four of Cups. The expectations of someone else doing, coming in, being the thing that we find most critical or find most troublesome. It's the way that we see the situation. It's the way that we are looking at this other person. And it's the way that that's being reflected back to us that is the true essence of the journey here. And so the lesson here, I believe what Spirit is trying to say is all of the things and all of the reasons that you are maybe blaming this person or putting it on this person or thinking about this person in your own mind, your counterpart here, take a second and just see and sit with that and see how much of that is reflected back to yourself. How much of that happened for a reason that was really important for you to realize as you went through this journey, particularly. Of course, here it's been about patience, but patience and expectations are two different things. Now, what I do see here, okay, because we did channel for the week ahead and or general messages, okay? I see the Emperor and the Empress here. I see the Death card by the Empress and the Ace of Cups here as well. So it does seem to be that there is some final recognition on the Divine Feminine's part here to realize a bit of the projection-oriented energy that has been going outward from her to her counterpart that is needing to be cleared up and healed, from what I can see. This is the essence of, I believe, the last thing to be healed so that all of this can come into a place of culmination and completion, is looking within and seeing and viewing exactly all the things, how and why the Divine Feminine has been projecting upon the masculine, and seeing if and when and how those things are true within her own self and her own beingness. And through that whole chapter, through those attempts, coming into a final place of change and transformation that will fully allow a new cup of love to be born. Ace of Cups. So this week in particular, it's a very, I don't know if you guys can feel it, but it's a very, very different energy. It's a very different energy. Very different energy. And I think what's trying to be shown here is basically the Page of Cups. Is basically the last steps that we need to go through in order to allow this week to come to fruition, which is quite clear here. Okay. And the main message being for the Divine Feminine here, to really look inside and see what it is inside of her and her soul that is still there, that is still scared of finally accepting the truth of what's there and allowing them to move forward. That's what I would say. And I would say you'll know what that is directly by any and all of the thoughts, feelings, or emotions that you might feel towards your counterpart, things that you might have blamed on them or still blaming on them, or that they have done tangibly to you to affect you in a certain way. Those are the things that will draw attention to the very things inside of your soul that still need to be healed, released, and purged. So it is a message of, it's a little bit intense, so forgive me, but it's a message of death. It's a message of intense transformation, a death of the old way of being, the death of the old way of perceiving things in and around love, in and around destiny, in and around yourself, and around the way we've been being and the way we've been looking at other people. And what I'm getting here is it's really the Divine Feminine's time to heal at this time. It really is. There's a lot that needs to be done. I feel like the masculine now, interestingly, has risen to a place where he is more ready than ever before. I mean, we've got the King of Cups here. We've got the Emperor card. We do have the Knight of Wands, but for whatever reason, I picked that up for the Divine Feminine. Interestingly. And the Seven of Cups here as well. And then the Empress here with the Death card and the Ace of Cups. So to sum this up, it's realizing what else within your own soul, if you're watching this, still needs to be identified, looked at, purged, and healed. That is then going to allow you to receive and to be offered both a brilliant and beautiful cup of love and also your greatest destiny moving forward. And where it stems from what I'm getting here, again, utilizing the thoughts, the feelings that you have that were coming outward towards your counterpart as a reflection back to you to see whatever it is, whatever lessons, feelings, and emotions that they are reflecting back to you, where and why did those things lie within your heart, within your soul? What are they trying to tell you? What are they trying to teach you? And where are they trying to get you to move forward toward? Okay? So it's time to let go of the attachment fully. It's time to let go of the attachment to this person, to the masculine energy, to their way of being, what they may have done, what they may have said, and to realize that this is all coming from a place of getting you to know, getting us to know what is really truly inside at this time. Okay? And just knowing that, right, ultimately, if they are not ready, they being a reflection of you in many ways, then you in some ways are not ready. And it's discovering in what ways that is so that you can make progress for yourself. Okay? Beautiful. Let me get 3 final context and advice cards because this is a heavy message, guys. I don't know if you can feel that weight. Wow. Spirit guides, can we get 3 final advice, context, and clarity cards? 3 of Wands, 9 of Cups, and the Hierophant. Good. It's important to become your own wish fulfillment. The dream version of who you are, of who you want to represent, of how you want to be, and how and who you want to impact in the world. When you become your own wish fulfillment, which is what we're all going for, you will receive your own wish fulfillment as a reflection back to you that you are everything you could ever want within your own soul. And I see this Hierophant card, right? This Hierophant card out there making a big impact, making a big difference with and for people. And that being the 9 of Cups. And 3 of Wands being identifying and committing to that vision of becoming the best you can possibly be. And nothing but that. And any and all messages in love that are coming your way this time. Any and all of the feelings, the hurt, the sadness, the separation, all of that. Using that as the fuel necessary to pull you into becoming your own wish fulfillment. And realizing that no one is here to complete you besides yourself and what's already inside of your own soul. That is the essence, my friends, tough message as it is, of the true twin flame, twin soul journey. It never really was about union in the first place. It was always about union within ourselves and union within us and our greatest potential destiny here on this earth. And letting go of the rest. So, finding and discovering the deepest inner fire that you have to give to the world in your soul, through yourself, because of the situation, and bringing it out, and bringing it out in an unapologetic way without apologizing. Unapologetic. All right, guys. I'm going to do one last thing. And I want it to be specific advice. Specific advice for the next few days. Because I do feel that these next few days, the energy is going to be getting more and more intense. And the best thing we can do is just surrender to it. Just know what's coming and how to handle it. All right. Spirit guides, loved ones, masters, wise ones, angels and archangels, please. 5 cards, advice. Specific advice for us on our next few steps in our journey. What do we got? Oh my God. The 8 of Cups again. That's crazy. That is so crazy. Wow. You know what? You know what's happening, guys? I don't even know. Look, I'm just going to be straight up honest, okay? I'm feeling some weird ass energy right now. It's weird. I'm like, what the hell is going on? It's like all coming up all at once. It's crazy. It's intense. It's dramatic. And the 8 of Cups is here twice with the 3 of Swords, right? The heartbreak. I can't even speak correctly. I'm like, what the hell is going on? But I really do think it's because of this energy of really needing to be firm in our own separation. It's like, it's weird. 8 of Cups being drawn twice, I don't quite understand that. It's almost like there's, in some ways, shape or form, it's like no matter how much we want for this journey to come into culmination and to come together, it's like that's refusing to happen. You know what I mean? The 8 of Cups twice in a row with the 2 of Wands. And it's like, stop looking at that one possibility and look outside of that, and the truth will come. The truth will come. Yeah. So 8 of Cups. Let me see if I can get my camera on one more time. 8 of Cups, 2 of Wands again. So this was the same cards that came out during the last reading. Very interesting. Ace of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles. The more you are able to walk away from love, the more you are able to resist or to realize firmly the reason why you are separate in love right now and why you may need to continue to be separate and to have patience, temperance, is the faster your life is able to move forward. 4 of Cups on the bottom of the deck. Acceptance. Acceptance. So, I don't know. I don't know who this message is for, why this message is the way it is, but it is the way it is. Underneath the 2 of Wands, we have the Queen of Cups, telling us that the most important thing we can do, of course, again, is to take our hearts and to employ our hearts in every possibility that comes into our life, no matter what. And to follow our hearts as well, and to stay in our hearts. And that means within our destiny, within our jobs, within our businesses, Ace of Pentacles, 9 of Pentacles, the things that we are most looking to take care of right now. And really strongly moving forward with that, allowing those things to move us forward. And choosing to walk away. It is really unfortunately, I think the essence of what I want to say here, as directly as I can, is the need this week to walk away. As hard as that may be. It's a confirmation that there's a need still here, for whatever reason, to walk away. And the identification of perhaps the reason of that is maybe us, we as the viewers here, right, the watchers, are not ready. And I almost feel in some ways like this whole situation has switched over, right? It's like at some point we were saying, oh, we're ready for love and we're ready for union. We could do this. It's ready. But then at some point, it's like it switched into being, well, maybe we're not. Maybe actually there's other things more important to do right now in our lives that we need to take care of. Maybe there's more healing to be done, more realizations to be done, more stability in finances and independence to have. Maybe that's what it would really take in order to create the 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups with someone else, is the continued progress and work in our own hearts and our own minds and our own souls at this time to allow that to happen. So, that's the message. I didn't enjoy it. I didn't enjoy it at all. In fact, I very much disliked it. It was hard to believe even sometimes what I was saying as I was saying it. But I do think that that's the message that really needed to come through, is to walk away. And to walk away and realize that we may not be ready this time, despite however much we may want to have it. I mean, this is clearly the Divine Feminine, Queen of Cups with Temperance. This is the Divine Feminine with Temperance. And we saw the Divine Masculine in the other reading as the King of Cups and the Emperor. And then with the Empress and the Death card. So I do think it's her turn. I do think it's her turn, okay, to do some growth and some healing, and to maybe go through a bit of an evolution on her own, in her own time. So that is likely what you're feeling from me. If you're wondering what's up with Brandon today, I have no idea, but I'm feeling all out of sorts, and I'm like, maybe these things are true. Like as I'm speaking them, I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe that's right. You know what I mean? Like I'm realizing as I'm saying it. So it's kind of crazy. I'm a little bit in shock. I'll be honest with you guys. But anyways, I don't want to beat a dead horse and keep saying the same thing. But anyways, that's confirmed again this week. I think it is time to look inside of ourselves, to continue to do some healing, to realize what healing we need to be doing, and to identify that healing from the projection energy we're giving to our counterpart, if there is any of that, anything we're angry about, sad about, not trusting about, suspicious about, blah, 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 all those things, see where it comes from within ourselves first, and to identify those things and to let them go, and then to, because of that, realize that now it's time to step up to the Divine Masculine's level. Okay? That's really the truth of it. So, as hard as that may be to realize or to say, that's where it's at. Okay? All right. Let me, I haven't checked in with the comments or anything like that, but let me just see where everyone is at this time. See how everyone's doing here. What a funky message, huh? Cool. I think this one's going to be a little shorter than usual, guys. I think that was a very direct, succinct message. And I don't think really there's anything else that the Divine wants to share that's necessary at this time. I think the reason why there wasn't a lot of, love updates, just to be candid, is because that's not the important part right now for us. For us watching this collective viewing, the updates in love are not the most important part at this time. It's our own inner growth and healing. It's our own inner realization of where we need to go, what we need to be, what we need to do, and to really step up into that. Really step up into that and to allow and accept that process to happen, and to release any expectation, any feeling of control, any resistance to surrendering to this whole process. That's what's being called for us right now. Because there will be a lot that happens this week, absolutely. There will be gigantic changes that happen, especially around the 22nd to the 25th. Oh boy, there will be some gigantic things shifting, but I suspect it will be within ourselves. And through those changes, we will be carried. We'll be carried into the most important thing we're here to do at this time on earth. Okay? All right. I'm going to close this out. Yeah, your mama says the astrology for the next few days was 100% in flow with this reading. I totally agree. I totally agree. It's like there's just something massive here on the edge, on the precipice of happening. And I don't know what the hell it is, but I know it's going to be a great moment of healing, a great moment of shift in our lives. So, very interesting stuff. Let me just check in with the chat. Let me see if there's any questions that you guys have that I can answer before I close out. And we're going to close this out a little earlier today for whatever reason. I see a lot of sad faces in the chat. Oh, boy. Past the past, future's not here yet. Be in the present moment. Rachel says, I really needed this. Focus on the now. Be at peace with how things are. Yep. That was a lot of stepping up. I already grew a pair. I feel peace with the reading. Been doing a lot of spiritual growing. Leslie, sad face. Heal and surrender. Yeah. Oh no, is it all? Hopefully the mic wasn't too bad for you guys. I hope it wasn't too interrupting. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. I appreciate all the kind comments and the support and the engagement. I was like, this, as I was speaking, I was like, this is going to be a very different reading than what we're used to. But it was what it was, and you know, the intention was the messages we needed to hear for our highest good and healing at this time. So apparently we need some healing. All right, guys. Cool. Well, thanks for joining me again. If you guys want to, continue, move forward, I do have readings available. You can check out my website, brandontobias.com. I do astrology and soul purpose readings. Those have been filling up like crazy, super fast. So I might have to close it down pretty soon here. But those are available on my website. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much for the support, for the love, for the encouragement. It's always an honor to be in front of you and to speak to you and to give the messages, whatever that is, and no matter how hard they are to hear, even for myself, for this current chapter we're all on. Okay? So be sure to see us next time on the live stream. That's on Sunday. I believe it's going to be about 1:30, 1:45. And we will see how this progresses, guys. Have an amazing, incredible week. Good luck to all of you. We all know how epic of a week this is going to be. And I can't wait to see how we all end up being by next week. All right? Love and light, guys. Thank you so much.